Welcome to Romance Rex, where book besties explore the world of romance novels and encourage you to expand your TBR. Join us as we dive into the hottest releases and hidden gems of the genre. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Rex Pod. You can also find us on Discord, Romance Rex Pod. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. As you can tell, this is Dev, and I am currently listening to A Throne of Broken Gods, or The Throne of Broken Gods? The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. This is book 2 in her Gods and Monsters series, and I'm eating it up. I'm so excited that I finally picked up this series. It's been on my TBR for a while. I'm even more excited that Amber's going to be at Books, Gowns, and Crowns this week, and that I will hopefully get her to sign my first copy of the book. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yay, me too. Hi, I'm Jordan. Get ready for hearing me a lot tonight. I am currently reading The Blood is Life by Ariella Isabella, which Dev and I found the other day.
No, you started
It's a novella.
Okay, I have to start that tomorrow. How is it?
I'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
And I'm listening. And I'm listening to Pen Pal by J.T. Geisinger because I just have to know what everybody's talking about. So buckle up for some bookish banter, a lot of Jordan's bookish banter, because today we're going to take a deep dive. We're going to dive deep, as Dev would accidentally say, into my favorite subgenre. In season 1, our most listened to by miles is dark romance. And so I'm going to talk a lot about dark romance. I'm going to give a lot of recs. I'm going to go on a lot of rants and raves. I'm going to give you a lot more than what you got, hopefully, in season 1 for the dark romance. Next month, we're going to highlight some extra stuff that Dev loves. And then hopefully by December, we'll get Christina back on here and we can have her rant and rave about, we're trying to do AO3. And so that's what we are here to do today.
Make sure you're buckled in, babes.
Yes. But we will start like we always do. With a quote.
Yes.
So Dev, why don't you start us out with a quote?
Okay. So as I said, I am reading The Throne of Broken Gods, and my quote is going to come from that. And this quote is so inconspicuous. It's really nothing. It's literally some words in a sentence.
That is a quote. That is a quote.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is it's not spicy, it's not romantic, it's nothing. But this is so poignant to me because it really shows how down bad the MMC is for his morally pitch black FMC, which we love. But this is all he says to her, right? He's trying to convince her to relax, essentially, to cut down on her activities. And he says, "Come home and teach me what you do." Sorry, I was giggling and kicking my feet because I don't want to give anything away for people who haven't read it or people who plan to read it, or maybe you're in book 1 because this is book 2. But he's literally trying to stop her from doing her nefarious activities. And to convince her, he's just, come home and show me what you like so you don't got to keep doing other stuff with other people. And I'm just like, wow, how down bad do you have to be, sir? Come home and show me what you do. So yeah, that's my quote. He's so swoon-worthy. He talks like a grandpa.
Right well, he is. He's so old. He's old.
Yeah, he is literally millennia old. But the way he talks, sometimes because everyone around him adapts the language, and he's just not getting it. He just isn't getting it. So it's
he's been so focused on other things that he hasn't had the time or bandwidth to really learn the mannerisms of this world. Sometimes you just gotta dipe that div.
I will never live that down. Oh, man. But yeah, so that's my quote. What you got for us, Jordan?
Okay, so this was my original quote for tonight, because originally this was going to be a different episode, but we decided we wanted to do a little bit further investigation into that topic, which we're going to save for another time. But now that we're here for my favorite, I decided, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do another Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti I tried to do something else, but I was like, no, if this is what we're doing tonight, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to do it.
What did I tell you? I knew it. Go ahead, girl. Tell us what they said.
I've never even mentioned this duology of theirs. So this is from The Death Club, book 1 of the Dead Men Walking series. People were awful, but men were pigs. So I lived by the rule that men didn't exist to me 99.9% of the time. And when they did, they were already on their last warning. Sadly, I wasn't a lesbian. Even the devil hadn't helped me out with that.
I'm choking. Excuse me.
So this FMC has spent time in a mental ward. I will start that off by saying she is the definition of unhinged. Like the way she thinks is not typical. It's not even, she's on her own wavelength, but it's hilarious. She's very much, I'm obviously fucked. The devil must be on my shoulder. God does not help me. It's all the devil. So the devil didn't even help me with this.
That's
couldn't even be
crazy.
a lesbian.
Right. I hate men. And I'm not even a lesbian.
I feel this. What a soul connection.
Love it when women.
I know. So anyways, dark romance. I'm going to rant. I'm going to rave. I'm going to give a lot of recs. First of all, I think I'm going to start by listing some of my favorites. I think I'm just going to do a really big list, and then I'll do like highlights from there. Dev is going to keep me honest. Dev is going to ask me questions. Dev is going to put in her own recs.
I have questions.
What she thinks. Questions, just why. I think the question is going to be why a lot. Just saying. So some books that I absolutely adored I'm going to say bully / dark romance. I would say always falls under dark romance, but I love it so much I have to specify it. So I've mentioned Devil's Night series and Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas, The Coven by Harper L. Woods, Hollow Heathens, by, who was here? Anyways, I'll have to look that up. Basically any Tate James from the Shadow Grove world verse. Losers by Harley LaRue, which I mentioned in our first dark romance episode. There's Gothicana. There's basically anything by Penelope Douglas. I have like multiple things on there by them, but Penelope Douglas is almost always bully romance, and it's going to be dark themes. Jay Breeze, Hannaford Prep, I've mentioned. And then there is just, I'd say everything by Sue Valenti and Caroline Peckham. So I'm going to go into their stuff later, and it'll be its own little segment, I think, would be great. I just read Red Fang Royals by Lola Rock. It's part of Pack Darling series. Eva Ashwood writes dark romance, usually Why Choose. There's a lot of mafia romance there. Katie Robert does a lot of dark romance. What have I read recently? Oh my goodness. Blood Bride. That is super dark, and I'm going to go on a tangent about that later. Just you wait. So remind me, Blood Bride by C.D. Reese. Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So freaking good. I saw that. That's the cover with the baby pink strawberry with melted gold coming down the bottom. So good. Penn Cassidy writes good stuff. I need to read more of hers. Wickedly Sweet. I mean, I have so much. I love it. But I will do the caveat, and I'll go on my rant, that when it comes to dark romance, I feel like there is a line where sometimes I'm reading dark romance, and I DNF dark romance a lot because it feels like some authors will write things just to say, this is dark romance. Look how dark this is. This is as dark as it can get. And I want to say, sweetie, that's just rape. I want to say, that's not dubious consent. There is no consent. And some people like that. That is good for you. That's where I draw the line. I can't.
Yeah.
So if you're getting into this and you're like, dark romance, oh, that's horrible. It's not all like that. If you have read one like that, it is not all like that. There is consent in dark romance. There is strict consent. If you really want a good representation of that, please read Losers, the duet by Harley LaRue. Safe word. Always explicitly mentioned. They talk about it. Their characters mention it. They fill out a form to say what they're okay with, what they're not, what their maybes are. If you want a good
50 Shades of Grey.
I mean, but not in a cheesy way. It was more, someone who, it's written like someone who's a part of this world actually understands this in real life and has put it into a book. I think that's how it feels. That's how it feels.
Looking at Harley LaRue.
They've mentioned a lot that this book was kind of their way to really discover themselves in a lot of ways.
That's interesting.
And that they were really finally able to actualize a lot of things that they felt through this writing. And you can tell this is a passion project.
Oh, okay.
Caveat. We do not get on this podcast and blast books. We understand that there is a reader for every book and there is a writer for every reader. Just because I didn't like something doesn't mean it's not amazing for someone else.
Right.
So when I talk about this book, the writing itself was phenomenal. All of the content wasn't necessarily for me because I felt like there should have been, like, to me, this was straight non-con from the male main character, even onto the female main character, or attempted onto the female main character, right? Attempted, but it didn't work because of magic and supernatural ways. And to me, that's where I draw the line. Like, that's not for me. So any of my recs will not be that. Because if the option is to do something with someone, or you will have severe bodily harm, or you will die, or someone you know will die, that is not consent. No matter what is said from that point on, that is not consent. And I feel like some authors really need to learn this lesson and need to change their trigger warnings. And that is a big pet peeve of mine, is people not understanding what consent really is. So this is a serious topic. We will get away from this and it will get more fun. Don't worry. I felt like I needed to say this up front because I don't like, dark romance is such a touchy thing for a lot of readers and they're not sure. And I just want to say that you won't find those recs from me.
Right. They'll be dark, but they won't make you like question your morals a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they might a little bit.
Just not
but
those.
Not those morals. Not like where there should be hard lines. None of that. Yeah. None of that. Dev, when you think dark romance, though, what do you think? What are like the subgenres you think of? Or what are some things that come to mind?
When it's contemporary, I for sure like immediately go bully in my brain. Like I think of bully romance. When it's like paranormal or fantasy or romantasy, I, for some reason, just immediately my brain goes to shadow daddies. I go to people being held hostage. But yeah, for me, like dark romance could literally be anything that's just a little, it makes you question again your morals a little bit, but not in a negative way. Just there's just something extra spicy about the way the FMC or the MMC or the group, whoever the focal point is, the way they handle the situations that they're in, right?
I think that comes from, you have these dark, usually male main characters, MMCs, right? Doing these horrible things, but they have all of their good intentions centered around the FMC. And you know that no matter how dangerous or like crazy things are getting, he puts her safety first.
Right. Even she's always the top priority.
Yeah. Even if there's like blood play or like asphyxiation or like any of these things, or
run.
You know he's still putting her needs before his in these books.
It's all a safe, controlled environment. As safe and controlled as he can make it, he's going to make it. But it's still real dark because, I mean, she is running barefoot down a wooden, I don't know, path or something. I don't know.
That's awfully specific, Dad.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
It's still a dangerous environment, but it's
Yeah.
safely dangerous.
Yeah. And I
But yeah,
think,
that's just what I think of.
and for me, after living on this earth for almost 34 years, as a woman, it's nice to see women in dangerous situations that they know they're not in danger and they can fully let
Yeah.
go. It's
Oof, love that.
That's why all dark romance is fantasy.
Not real. Not. I was just about to say, not real life being a dark romance without the romance.
It's just
Just
dark.
psychotic. Yeah, just dark. Real life is just dark.
Cue Welcome to America. Okay, so let's get some fun things going from this because this got real dark real fast.
I know. Wait, I do have a question for you because I
Okay.
have questions. I have
Okay.
questions listed out
Okay.
for you.
Oh, do
So
you?
one of my
Ew.
questions, yes, yeah, I was on it. One of my questions is, which dark romance trope do you secretly love the most of all of them? Or I was gonna say kinks, but no.
I mean, you
Whatever
can
your
do
brain
that
can come
too.
up with.
I love bully romance so much.
Mm-hmm,
I do. I don't know why. If I really look deep, could I tell you why? Probably. Is it appropriate to share on a podcast where anyone can hear? No.
Not your dad listening to this and now trying to do the math.
That would not surprise him. Not that's weird, but I don't think that would be surprising. But within that trope, my favorite is when the MMC grovels and has to earn that
Oh,
trust back. And I think that's what I love about it is that redemption
mm-hmm.
and that final release of their true feelings or release of whatever was
Mm-hmm.
holding them back, whether it be out
Mm-hmm.
external forces and pressures from other people or themselves and their own trauma, because there's usually trauma involved. And it's a reckoning. And it's a
Yes.
reckoning for
Mm-hmm.
everyone involved. And I love that moment. And because it also, I feel like bully romances done right also create the best slow burn and
Mm-hmm.
because you have to go through all of this shit and then you
Mm-hmm.
have to reconcile. I think when you have them all of a sudden, I mean, if they're hate fucking, then great, they can hook up. But if they're all of a sudden lovey, oh my gosh, we made love and I don't know why. It started out so angry. I don't want it. I either need
Groveling, intense.
I need groveling or I need both of them angry and hate fucking. And then they come to a conclusion of things later. But I just love the tension. And I think that's what it is
Mm-hmm.
because bully romance creates a very unique kind of tension.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm sighing about bullying. Bullying is
I
not
know that.
okay. Please,
In real life, yes.
as an elementary school teacher, I have to tell you, bullying is never okay. Okay? These are fictional worlds. Don't get it twisted, please.
Thank you for that anecdote, Teacher Jordan. I love that.
Yeah. I will say, and I think that's why I love Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti so much, is because they write so much bully romance, but they do it in fantasy worlds. They do it contemporary, and the way they do it, I just love it. Because usually the female main characters give just as good as they get. And that's what I love too.
Yeah.
I don't like meek. I mean, FMCs that just take it and they're just beat down.
No,
and then
because
they're like,
that's hard to
oh, now he's
read.
giving me love and now he changed his mind. Oh, now I love you. No, I don't like that kind of bully romance. Don't give that to me.
That feels just a little too wrong.
I need a bad bitch who's got a strong backbone.
Yeah.
She can cry about it in private, but in their faces, she's gonna flip him the bird while her face is in the mud. Like she's gonna.
It'll make me cry if she's soft and she's being bullied. Like I will actually cry because how am I supposed to enjoy this?
Well, because then they're just assholes. If they can go back and forth, then I like it. Then it's of course they're gonna get you back. Of course there's gonna be repercussions. Get them.
Right. You're sick.
Well, weird, but I feel like I like dark fantasy, but I don't think I like it nearly as much.
Really? I think I'd prefer dark fantasy over dark contemporary.
Right, and I understand that because there's a level of it not being part of this world, so you can excuse some behaviors because it's not a part of their culture or that's not a part of literally their world. And I get that. And I think that's why I like Zodiac Academy because that's not how their world works. literally.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about that whole process. I don't know. I like it being
Set
our
in our
modern world. I don't,
Yeah.
because the tension is real to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not outside forces like mate bonds or things like that are forcing them together. It's genuine attraction
Right.
and
Okay.
understanding of each other. And I think that's why I
Yeah.
like contemporary dark romance.
Okay. Wait, I have a question. So if knowing you like contemporary, which FMC in a contemporary dark romance would you trade places with? Would be her in the book?
Lark. What was her name? In
Oh my
Leather and Lark?
gosh, from Leather and Lark?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the
I'll
first one that
allow
came to
it.
mind.
Amazing.
I
Bravo.
love it.
10/10, no notes. Yeah.
Yeah. Instantly, I was like, because I also felt that was the first, I think, contemporary, especially contemporary story that I read of any romance book that I felt I related so much to that character,
Mm-hmm.
like on a personality level, and just like the
Yeah.
criticisms that she got as a person and the things she worked through on a personal level. Obviously, not the like unaliving bit,
Right.
but that I just I saw myself in that book, and that's such a weird book to see yourself
No,
in.
right. No, I get you. But if you take out her extracurricular activities, she's just a girl, you know?
Yeah.
There are things she's going
Yeah.
through. So I get that. And the book, sorry, I don't know if I said the title. It is
Oh,
Leather
no.
and Lark by Bryn Weaver.
Mhm.
That's the book that Jordan is talking about. But
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. If you've read that book, you can understand because alongside, and that's the good thing about Bryn's writing too. She writes like these dark, nuanced characters and stories.
Mhm.
But if you remove the unaliving, the severing of body parts, then you get these FMCs and these MMCs who are like actually going through normal people stuff and trying to
Mhm.
navigate what that is. So I totally understand your answer of picking
Mhm.
Lark. That's cool. I don't know if
Well,
I
it's
would
all
have
of her
places with
issues.
anyone.
Yeah, it's like you what?
I don't want to be in any of those dark romances.
Well, no. Do I want to? No, but do I see that being like me? Yeah.
One you would, yeah.
Just if I had the stomach for it, sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
She's down there
All
just
I'm
working
thinking
on
about
her
the
art.
table.
That's what I'm saying too. That's what I was referencing. Like she's just down there working on her art pieces. Like
It's
she's
arts and crafts.
yeah.
Her home. The home is big. She has to do arts and crafts. What else is she gonna use?
Yeah, and where else is she
Clay?
gonna put a finger? Like
right. It only works in a snow globe, my love. There's nowhere else you can put
it
a
was
severed
Christmas.
finger.
What else are we supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't
really
think
love
I'd want to
that.
be part of a mob family. I'm not. I
Yeah.
like to
A
read
little too
those.
dangerous.
Mob,
Yeah.
mafia, like crime. No.
I would not survive.
Mm-mm.
I don't have it in me. Every day your life is an adventure. I can't manage.
But at least they have money. But at least they have the funds to take care of the small things. Like they're not doing their own laundry.
Yeah.
You
Right.
never hear them doing their own laundry. You don't hear them dusting their bookshelves. They are not vacuuming. They are not cleaning out the fridge of last week's leftovers. They don't do that.
Right. Because if
What
I
are
have to run
leftovers to
from a
them?
killer, yeah, if I have to run from a killer and also plan next week outfits, I might start actually unaliving some people. So you're right. They have balance. They do have a good balance.
Well, I mean, if you have that much time and money, what else are you going to do? You're going to take over the city where you live, naturally.
Right. There's just nothing else to do. Naturally, when you have money, you're just going to start unaliving people.
Oh my.
Not me side-eyeing the rich. It's a good thing I'm not rich.
Well, I mean, a lot of stuff is coming out now. Like we didn't already all think it in the back of our head. Oh, this is probably happening. But now we're like, oh, this is definitely happening. And all of you are involved. Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm just looking at them crazy now. But yeah,
this episode got awkward real quick.
Not secondhand embarrassment from our own. Yeah. It's crazy.
I digress.
Wild. The things that are happening in the world. Yeah. Okay, do you have another dark romance rec that you think? Give us one that you think it's kind of entry level, but not something that a lot of people, if they're looking for dark romance, what is something you'd ease them into?
Okay, I want to do this one. Let me make sure. Is it considered dark?
Even if it maybe not be like fully dark, but have darker
So,
themes in it.
okay. So, Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I'll start with that one.
Okay.
So, this rec follows Phoebe and her best friend Haley. They were raised together. Their moms are best friends. And by best friends, I mean like they are ride or die. They are each other's actual soulmates, but their moms are con artists.
Oh God.
And
What in the Thelma
their
and
fathers were
Louise?
and their fathers are in on it. So their moms have these families, and their families were raised together working cons. Okay. So hear me out. They both have brothers. They're both the
Okay.
only girls in their families. But it follows Phoebe. They've been through shit together. You can imagine, right?
Yeah.
They're early 20s now, early to mid 20s. It's a family empire.
Oh God.
But their parents have been using them since they were little kids to be like the cute cons. And that's how they lure people, is through the cute. Phoebe has two brothers, and Haley has three brothers. Three brothers, I think. Two or three. Sorry. That's not important. Anyways, after this certain job that Phoebe and Haley work together, Haley calls their secret code word, which means no matter what happens, you go with them. It's like their safe word. I'm requesting you do this one thing, no matter how you feel about it. And only one of them has used it once in their life, because these girls are ride or die just like their moms are. Like, it's
Right. Right.
But Haley says, I want out. I want us to go get fake IDs of our own without telling our parents. I want us to leave, and I want us to go start a new life, an honest life. So this is them trying to start an honest life. Phoebe has this sexual tension history with Rocky, who is Haley's older brother.
Ooh. I
They
love a
have
best friend's
been,
brother.
yeah, I do too. They have been forced on jobs together. So they have played each other's siblings. They've played each other's like boyfriend, girlfriend. They've played fiance. They've played married. They've played like all these things for different cons, right? That their parents like schedule and make up and like plan. It's crazy. But Rocky finds out, and I'm going with you. You guys can't live an honest life. You can't get a 9 to 5. You can't do this. And it's just them trying to make a life without running cons, even though that's all they've ever known. You don't learn about the job that kind of was the snapping point for Haley until later in the book. And it's you get like flashbacks throughout the book, and it's so good. So there's a lot of high stakes. And then the end, I didn't realize this is an incompleted series because it's newer. It came out this year.
Yeah.
And I've seen it a lot of places, but I didn't realize this is the first of, I think, 2 or 3. I don't know how many there's going to be, but it does.
Wait, is it the first?
Yeah.
Really?
It ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh, I thought it was the second.
No, I wish
That's
the second
crazy.
one was out. It is. I need to know. Like, I was reading this and I'm like, okay, it's okay. Oh my God, it's okay. No, it's okay. I need to know what happens. It was like that build.
Yeah, it just kept getting better. Yeah.
So
it has darker themes in it.
There's violence and deceit. I mean, so that's dark in that way. Do you know what I mean? So if you really want to see, do I want like darker drama? That would be a good one. If you want to dip your toe into, let's say, spicy mafia, nothing too complex, middle of the road, good writing, storyline is there. This has a Why Choose. So Vicious Kings by Eva Ashwood. Grace left the life of being a mafia princess when her father took her, and they left their life in Chicago behind 6 years ago when she was a teenager after her mother was murdered. Because her father, he was one of the top people in this mafia. So she led a charming life and boring, average suburban lie. Because her father, they left. He goes, we will never speak about our former life ever again. He got them new identities, everything. I think it was in Washington or Idaho. I think it was in Idaho. So a life full of lies and hidden identities until her wedding day, when 4 dark men from her past storm in, guns blazing, in a shootout in the church and drag her back into their lives with her father now dead. There are unanswered questions and a debt to be paid because she thought they left scot-free, but they did not. So will her old friends her 4 best friends be her captors or her salvation. And so it is a why
Ooh.
choose, and it's dark. I mean, this is
Yeah,
dark.
it sounds dark.
There is spice off the bat. And this.
Why choose spice off the bat?
Uh-huh. Yep.
I'm so confused
Like
because if
the
we were
leader
best
of
friends,
the 4, they are, but they also, one of them is the son to the capo. So like the head of their mob or mafia. Sorry. I know these terms have different meanings. I'm not going to lie. I get them mixed up. Okay. I'm sorry. And I also read a few of these, so I get them all, forget which one is which. So she was best friends with these boys in her early teenage years. Oh, 2 of them are twins. Hold up. 2 of them are twins, identical twins. What? And her first sexual encounter were with both of them because they share everything.
Okay, I think that might be a trope that actually I do not like. I think the twins.
It's if you think about it, it's gross.
It is.
If you think about it, it's gross.
A dark series that I actually have not finished, and I don't think I DNF'd it, but I think there's just so many other good things that I have to read that I've
I
put
know
it
which
on the
one you're
back
gonna say.
burner. Yeah. What is the series called though? With the twins in it, and it's the Peter Pan retelling.
Dark King.
Is it Nikki St. Crow who wrote that book?
Yeah.
That series? Yeah.
I love
Vicious
that series.
Kings it's a dark Peter Pan retelling. And the only thing about that book that gives me pause is honestly the twins in the book. That's it. And I think there was a scene with them too. And I was just like, okay. My Southern sensibilities. I don't know. I had to put it.
Southern sensibilities? Oh, don't like that. Don't like that.
First of all, I'm not Southern.
I know. I just hate it.
But yeah, I couldn't.
The Lost Boys, I think. Isn't it
the Lost Boys series? Yes, by Nikki St. Crow. I'm pretty sure she's right there, the author of that series. But yeah, so the twin sandwich thing for me may be the thing in dark romance that makes me like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah,
that might be the one.
When you think about it, it's real gross. But if you just suspend reality and you don't think hard about the concept of, not going to say that. No, never mind.
No,
never mind.
What I tend to do is just remake them. One, they're not brothers. They are not related at all.
They're really hot who happen to look similar.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And I have to do that for me to enjoy what's happening. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I fully get that. I fully get that. So, anyways,
I'm also the same one who enjoys a decent stepbrother romance. So I don't know. That's weird. So
okay, but stepbrother done right is, I can't say that either. That gives me the. So stepbrother I can do. Step parent, absolutely not. The situation is,
I've never read that.
I will never do. I haven't either because I never will. I don't think that's one I can do. No, I know that's one I can't do. I have a step parent. That's absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Nope.
I don't care.
Can't do that. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I can't.
And shake it
stepbrother for me has to be done. It has to be done right. Like they can't have been holding hands on the playground at 3, and then also I want y'all to have met at 19.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Even teenage, like younger teenage.
No, I need 18 and up. Y'all met at 18 or your parents met at 18. Y'all realize y'all are joining family and then you're like,
you knew each other from school. Or you had a crush before.
Right.
Give me that.
Y'all, right. And then now y'all are joining families and, oh, this is awkward. It's 2 couples in the house. Like, like something like that. But I can't do anything other than that.
Penelope Douglas did Step Siblings right. So check out their stuff. I think it's in the Fall Away series.
But did they also do Uncle Daddy or something?
Okay, let's talk about Credence for a minute.
Please, so Credence, I would never understand.
Credence by Penelope Douglas. This is one of the most hyped books on, I'd say, Book Talk, Bookstagram,
absolutely
anywhere. It's absolutely. I don't know if it's their most popular book, but I think it's the most viral. Probably because of the relationships. So, have you read it?
Have not, will not.
Okay.
You can spoil it.
I have read it because I just needed to read it and I needed to understand. It's actually not for me. And I love Penelope Douglas. Their writing is amazing. they have some of my absolute favorite books. I forget the female main character.
Mhm.
She was basically forgotten and neglected by her parents, who were like in Hollywood and famous. And she was just kind of left alone with a caretaker or nanny like her whole life. Her parents only lived for each other. When one of them was dying from cancer, they decided to do joint suicide. And their daughter was about to turn 18. So she was 7. Oh God, was she 17 in this book?
Oh,
17
my
or
God.
18? Son of a fuck, that's not great. Anyways, even though she's lived in like boarding schools and by herself this whole time, she still has to go, like her guardian is her dad's stepbrother.
Oh, okay.
So her step uncle
Got it.
and his 2 boys in the wilderness of, I believe it was Colorado. And they are like, they live in this small town, but they live like an hour outside, like up in the mountain, to the point where once the snow hits, they are snowed into their house for 3 months out of the year.
No.
Yeah. So...
No.
So it's
my brain is already doing the math.
Her step uncle and her 2 step cousins who are her age and then a few years older. Does she fuck all of them? Yes. Does she lose her? She was a virgin when she goes up there. Does she lose her virginity to her step uncle in the back of his truck? Spoiler alert. Yes. One of the biggest scenes in this book is when she's downstairs. Oh, and one of her cousins does not speak because of a traumatic event when he was young. He doesn't communicate. So he doesn't sign. He like has no way of communicating. That's a whole thing. So she's sitting on the couch and both of her, quote unquote, both of the boys. I'm just going to say both of the boys. The young men. Do not
say brothers.
No, the young men. I mean, they're brothers. They are brothers.
Oh, God.
They're down in the living room. And this is before she's fucked. Pike is his name. Her step uncle. So she's down there with them. And they turn porn on. And there's this big moment between like all of them where something almost happens and they kind of start to and almost do, and Pike walks in on them and he's like, get the fuck away from her. Go up to your room. And he sends them and then he spanks her over his knee for it. But spoiler alert on all of this. I'm like,
my flabbers are gasted.
People love this shit. And I was just like, this sounds so fucking awkward. And then he sends her to her room after he spanks her over his knee. And she gets all
You're going to spank me and send me to my room? Are you joking? Are you joking? Like an errant child? No, I don't love that. I couldn't. I love a good spank. You know, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
No, you can love a good spanking. I think that's acceptable on this pod.
But in this situation, I will burn the house down. Once you're finished and you send me to your room, I'm burning the house down with all of you. No, I can't read this book. Okay.
It wasn't again, really well written. Not my tropes.
So the writing.
Oh, yeah. Penelope Douglas, all the writing is great, but it is the kind of dark romance, all of their books, where you're either going to love the story or it's not going to be for you. None of it is going to be like bad.
Yeah.
Like I saw a lot of people DNFing their latest one, Five Brothers. Oh my God, my new favorite of theirs. And I didn't think anything could top Devil's Night series. And I think it's right up there, tied with it for me. And I
really interesting.
Ate it.
Does it include Five Brothers?
Five Brothers, yes.
Oh, okay. And it's Why Choose?
No, it's not. She ends up with one brother.
Oh, okay. That's like a little romantic or something.
Yeah. I mean, does she fuck all of them?
Oh, God.
Yeah. But does she end up with one of them? Yes.
Sweet. Christmas will be so good at their house in the upcoming years.
Oh, no, she does. And it is. It's totally fine. Like, you just have to read it. It's so good.
Nope.
I love it so much. I think you might like it. Okay,
nope.
I think you might. I don't think you would nope it.
Okay.
Listen.
All right.
It sounds
maybe
worse. And you have to, okay. And I have to say, remember what I said at the beginning of this episode, how I do not fuck with non-con, or even dubious consent has to be like acknowledged dubious consent. So I started reading this book, and it does start out with a certain scene, and I was like, I can't believe they wrote this. This is not like them. This is even further than I thought. But at the end of the chapter, you find out that it was talked about beforehand. So I just have to say, anyone who like DNFs in the first chapter, please get to the end, because it was a whole scene that they had already planned out. So,
but we're just arriving in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, what's happening? Oh no. Oh no.
Interesting.
Mini
I do like
spoiler,
when authors do
but
that.
yeah, but sometimes they lose me before because I'm like, oh no, too far.
Yeah.
But Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas. It's so good. It's a standalone, but it also is interconnected with Tryst 6 Venom, which is a sapphic story from the Jaeger's sister, who is like the brother. The five brothers are the Jaegers, and she's the only girl.
Okay.
So they did her. They did hers first, and then the brothers. And I think there will be more. There better be more.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I do have another question for you.
Okay.
Of all the books, the dark romances that you've read, every single one, which one would you pay serious money to see in a film? Exactly as it was written. Exactly as it was written. All of your money would go to them.
HBO.
Yeah, HBO. There's no, like, at this point, the content warnings is just black. They just have a black box, like, because everything's going to be included. It can be a series too. If like the book you're thinking of is not just a standalone and it's part of a series, I'll give you, it can be a series. And they'll transform the entire series for you.
That's
not a hard question.
That's so diabolical.
If you want to circle back.
No, give me just a second. Give me a second. My first instinct is one of the Zodiac Academies, but I don't actually want that in a series unless it's anime, which I guess I could do anime because
you can.
Oh, fuck. Don't say that. Okay. Then I have two answers.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Okay. So traditional long episode style. I think I would do Madison Kate series by Tate James. I think that would be really good. And it had to be the series because there's an element of mystery to it. There's things we don't know that we had to find out throughout the series and things like that. And I think it would translate really well to that format, like HBO, like Game of Thrones style.
Yeah.
I think that'd be so good.
Yeah, because there's a heavy plot.
Right. I think Devil's Night series could maybe do it, but I think it's almost there's too many dark themes that I think that would be good in like a CW remake. I think the CW could do Devil's Night like in a Vampire Diaries way, but it's contemporary. So I think that could be good.
Those are good answers.
Yeah. But I think that the Zodiac Academy world, I think there's 3 series in that world, in the Solaria world. I think those would be really good animes because I don't like seeing powers, like where there's a lot of powers or mind reading, or like where a lot of the internal monologue is in the book, or there's shape shifting. I don't want to see someone try to recreate that with AI. I want to see, and I would have Netflix do the anime because Netflix is coming out with some great anime right now. I could talk anime too.
Okay. Yeah. See, this is like the perfect question for you.
I'm like, hold on.
Netflix, HBO, and CW, if you're listening, Jordan just gave you guys some fantastic ideas.
And there's so much content.
Yeah. All of those have like multiple books.
Dedicated fan base.
True.
Dedicated. Yep. Although I think they should be doing Sarah J. Maas too, because I mean, I'm sorry, mind speaking. Real life, no. The wings, whenever you got wings popping out, I don't want to see CGI wings.
I know. I'm really trying to think of the last time I saw a movie or show that did those things well.
The 90s when it was okay to be cheesy.
True, but we don't want, I want it to be good.
No, I don't want Charmed
don't
level.
You think?
I want...
No. Oh, absolutely not.
Charmed was perfect for Charmed.
In Harry Potter, hear me out. In Harry Potter, when he's speaking like Parseltongue And when doesn't Voldemort pop up in that brain? Not like to have a conversation.
Yeah. You're talking in an ex-pothead.
Hold on. I just got a cramp at my C-section. Hold on. I laughed too hard.
It's been a while since you've had one of those.
I
Take a drink.
Oh, God. I can't. I finished it. There's no drink. Oh, God. That was a good laugh. Ooh, your parcel tongue is just fantastic.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
Ow, my stomach. That was so funny. Okay, so not Harry Potter. Oh, God. Jordan, that was such a good laugh. Thank you.
It's the parcel tongue where he's opening the Chamber of Secrets, and I know the exact hints.
Hold on, because I can't actually breathe. Yeah, I was going to try to use that as like a reference for how they can do like mind speak.
But then it gets so intense all the time, and they have casual conversations constantly.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah, that would be hard. Okay. So yeah, we just have yet to see. And guys, if you have recs for TV shows or movies that have done the things that we're discussing, well, please let us know. Pop over to Instagram for this episode and leave us a comment about it, because we love to go check it out. We want these shows done right if they're ever done. So yeah.
Or send us a message, because you can send us a text message from this episode. Wherever you're listening, there should be a link under the description of this episode. You can, or any episode, you can go and send us direct messages. Send them to us. Subscribe.
We would love to do that.
Send it. Please. Just let us know.
We want to talk to you guys. Yeah. That was so funny.
Oops.
Oh, man.
That slipped out.
With you.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Although I think, and I could see this, Brynn Weaver's series, I could totally see her getting a deal. And the Ruinous Love trilogy.
Yes.
Actually, I think, isn't she getting a deal? Wait, did I see that?
I think so. Yeah, I think
because that would be good.
And it's like dark enough romance where it's dark and has weird things, but it's at the heart of it. It's a rom-com series, to be fair. So I think it would be adapted to screen really well. That would be nice to see for sure. Yeah. I agree. Butcher and Blackbird is like one of my favorite listen/reads of all time. It was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, the next one should be good. I mean, Sexy Creepy Clown. That's new.
I might actually be terrified. Yeah, I might actually be terrified of that one. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm excited. Should be good. I'm trying to think of what else would be a good rec. I mean, Karina Halley.
Yeah, I think Karina has a lot of dark. The last thing I read from Karina was Oceans of Sin and Starlight, which is her Ariel retelling. Which was very dark. Like, when you hear an Ariel or a Little Mermaid retelling, you expect it to be like light and fluffy and cute. No, this is not a mermaid retelling. First of all, they're not mermaids, they're sirens. So off rip, you already know this is going to be a different kind of story. But it is dated, so think of the same time period as The Little Mermaid. But it was so dark. It was so dark, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. And there is a second book that came out. So, sorry, I messed that up. Oceans of Sins and Starlight, I think, is the second book. The first book is A Ship of Bones and Teeth. Yes, just double check that when you see. But if you go to Karina Halley, you'll be able to see all her work. She also has the Underground Gods or the Dark Gods series that is pretty dark. Like, the main male character is Death himself. So,
I love when that happens. He's a little rough
around the edges. Yeah, I do love it. And the best part about Death is that he actually cannot touch anybody or he will kill you. Can you imagine?
Oh.
he can't touch her.
That trope is good. That trope is good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Because then you got all the other things they can do. And normally they're equipped with like Shadow Daddy powers, which is...
And then, of course, the thing that everyone can do. I mean, everyone can whip out their shadows and just fuck their partner. That's fine. They've either got that, they've got tentacles, they've got tails that don't count, they've got
they can like reanimate objects or something. Yeah, something to keep the spice alive. I don't think he can do that, but I'm just saying.
Interesting.
Can you imagine?
Okay.
You're with the shadow daddy who reanimates a corpse.
Yes.
No, that
Oh,
might drop
corpse?
that.
Corpse?
Yeah, a
Oh.
corpse.
Wait, did this happen?
No, this doesn't happen. But I'm saying, imagine a book. I mean, I don't know. It might be in a book. But imagine that he can't touch you. He can't touch the FMC.
So whenever I see necrophilia, like intentional necrophilia, is this what it means? I've never read a book with it, but I have seen it on trigger warnings. And I'm like...
Is necrophilia and necromancy?
Necrophilia is sexual,
No.
like do stuff with corpses.
Yeah. No.
Necromancy is reanimating, like magic with the dead.
So essentially, what I'm talking about would be a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're using necromancy for necrophilia. I think we've gone too far. I think that's the line, and we've gone over it. Yeah, and we're here. So basically, what I have learned about dark romance, though, and dipping my toe into looking at other people's lists, is there is a lot more that I have yet to read. So I say I love all these things. I need more. Please, if you have some that you're like, Jordan, I just need to know what you think about this, or please read this because I need someone to talk to about it. Give me those recs. I will read them. Give me a week, 2 tops. I will have read it and I will be talking with you about it. Let's talk fan theories. Let's talk like giddy moments. Let's talk what the fuck was that? I would love it. So let me know. Or if you're looking for something specific or you're wondering about things that I've talked about, please reach out.
Jordan's got the recs for you guys. She is our resident dark romance baddie because I could never. Like, I read dark romance, but I am not a connoisseur, my love. And most, like I said earlier, most of the time, I need my dark romance to exist in another realm with fantastical beings. Yeah. I want to be as far away from real life when I read my dark romance as possible. Except for Butcher and Blackbird. For some reason, I was totally fine with them being in the streets of Boston.
It's because it was rom-com. It's because it was rom-com.
It's because true. Yeah. The rom-comness of it all was...
She suspends reality for you. There is no effort needed to suspend that reality.
Yes. You're already like, there's just no way.
But there could. But if there was, this would be...
the way Brynn Weaver ruins foods for people is actually psychotic.
I loved it. I don't think
I've had cookie and cream ice cream.
Oh, it's in my fridge right now. It's in my fridge right now. Diana and I have been eating it. Like,
that's crazy that you would feed her cookie and cream ice cream. You don't know what's in it.
Okay, if you haven't read, please skip 1 whole minute. Okay, but it was only cum. I mean, like, I know it's gross when you're not expecting it, but tell me you haven't already swallowed that in your life. And
first of all, it's how we came. Okay, it's not even the fact that it's in it. It's how that scene starts, how we get there, how we are introduced to it, who's sitting and eating it with the tub and a spoon. That is my problem.
See, to me, it was funnier than it was gross. Like, I mean, yeah, if you really, but I'm like, of all the things that you would have to eat. Okay, I gotta stop talking. This is too far for me. People are not gonna want to listen anymore. They're like, Jordan's a fucking... What's happening?
And no, they don't think that. I think, like you said earlier, there are books for everybody. I think you'd probably be surprised how many people are going to actually love the recs, already love the dark romance recs that you talk about, and love talking about it, because I feel like there are limited spaces where you can vocalize how much you love dark romance. So
please reach out and tell us. It can just be a short message. Just be like, keep it up, or you've gone too far. That's fine. Don't be mean about it, but give us some feedback. All we have is that dark romance is doing the best out of all of our tropes. I need to know how far you want us to take this. Tell me. Yeah, exactly. So let us know, and subscribe and follow us. Thank you for listening to us ramble about my favorite dark romance books. If you're looking for more romance recs other than just these, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Recs Pod. We're also over on Discord if you'd like. You can find our favorite book recs from our episodes, as well as behind the scenes content, because we also have interviews now. Go check them out. Again, that's at Romance Recs Pod. So make sure to follow us, and we'll be back in a week or two with another episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.